Hey guys, it's another day and another vlog. I actually didn't vlog yesterday because the vlog the day before was like 2 vlogs time-wise. It was crazy long. So what I thought I would do today is a little bit of a Q&A with just me, no Jeremy. And the questions are going to basically be like working mom questions. I've done some Q&A stuff over the years, but thought I'd do something different, which is like working mom stuff. So let's get into it. First up, the first question is, how do you juggle your responsibilities at work and being a mom? I separate them. I really like separate the two. When I'm at home, I'm at home. When I'm at work, I'm at work. I don't, and I teach. In case you didn't know, I'm an elementary school teacher, and this is my 8th year doing it. A lot of teachers have a lot of schoolwork that they take home with them. Over the years, I've tried really hard to get everything that I can done during my planning period, even as far as like turning the lights off in my classroom and pretending that I'm not in there so that nobody will even come to my classroom to ask me anything. That's how I've gotten stuff done in the past. This year, I happen to be really lucky since it is my first year teaching a new grade level. I'm teaching what the other person's teaching, and they're giving me a lot of their material, or they're giving me all their material. So I feel like I'm not doing anything actually. Like I'm just grading papers, and there's a lot to grade in 3rd grade, let me tell you. But in the past, I've spent my 30-minute planning periods every day writing lesson plans. I like to have my lesson plans in on Fridays, and I would usually have all my lesson plans for the year written out before Christmas. That was like my favorite thing to do. And then I would get to school early, like 20 minutes early, and I'd make my PowerPoint, like the next PowerPoint. I had my PowerPoint for the day, so I'd start working on whatever my next PowerPoint presentation was to teach for like the next day or whatever. Like I would just work as far ahead as I could. And then I'll also grade papers during like recesses, because you'll have one recess a day where you're not on duty. Or I would grade during a planning period if I had time to do that. So I try to get as much of my work done at work so that when I come home, I don't have to bring any work with me. And then during the summer, I try to go up as little as humanly possible, do as much as I can while I'm there, and then not have to take care of son and really like I like to keep them separate. I don't want it to feel like I'm teacher at home, teacher at work, like separate. It makes it better too if you can come home and not feel like you're like working still. You need to have some kind of like rest for the weary type place. So here's another one. What is your work day like? Mine, I get up at 6 to get ready for work. I try to beat Jeremy up so I can get first in the shower. And I leave about 7:10. Jeremy gets Harrison up and takes him to the sitter, and then I drive about 30 minutes to another town to teach. I love to listen to talk radio and like audiobooks, and so I like having a little bit of a drive to work just so I can actually listen to those. When I worked in town one time, it was the worst year ever because I didn't have time to decompress and listen to my audiobooks. So anyway, I try to get to work about 30 minutes before the kids come in and we're actually supposed to start the day so that at that time I can grade papers, make copies. Today I was laminating things, just get as much done as possible in the morning because we only have a 30-minute planning period. That way I actually have technically like an hour planning period if I can get there 30 minutes early. Then your day, elementary school, teach, eat lunch with children, teach, go home. I leave about 3:25 and I get back to the house about 3:47 if traffic is the same as it always is. And then I like mom from there until it's time to go to bed. Let's see, what's next? How do you get focused when you're working from home? I don't do that. I don't get to work from home. There's no working from home. Blogging from home, how do I get focused? I have to blog, because I mean, that'd be the only time I was working from home, is if you're thinking like blog wise. Because I mean, that is like a side job, kind of like hobby job, whatever. Anyway, the only way I can blog at home these days is to make sure the baby is either being occupied by his dad or do it when everybody's asleep. It's hard. And with Jeremy doing seminary stuff right now and being on a one computer right now, for a while we did have 2 laptops. We're down to no laptops and a desktop computer. So with him needing to be on like the Logos, I think is what it's called, and whatever his like program is to look at commentaries, there's not a lot of computer time. So this has been like some days when you're not seeing these until way late, it's because I'm having to like film when I get off work, and then I'm waiting on, like right now I'm filming at 4:30 and there's nobody at the house yet. So I film as soon as I get off work, and then I have to wait for it to upload to the computer, and then I have to try to upload it to YouTube, and then while it's uploading to YouTube, I get my whole post done. Once that's done, I embed the code in, and I usually have to beg Jeremy nicely to flip over to my screen so that I can put my stuff, all my HTML into the post, and then it goes live. So sometimes you don't see it get posted on Twitter and Facebook and Google Plus and all those places because it's like 8:30, 9 o'clock, and I don't have time, and I'm not fighting for the computer, and sometimes I just don't feel like doing it from the phone. It gets really old doing it like that. I don't know. Maybe I'm just becoming like an old lady after all these years of blogging. How do you stay focused? I don't. I am terrible with focus. I just do as much as I can when I can, and my head kind of goes around. But that's just how I am. I do like 30 things at once. Focus is not my thing. How do you find time for you time? I think a lot of my you time, I'll be dead honest with you, if I have a lot of extra time, like rarity, that I don't have something I need to do during my planning period, I will straight up like pull my Bible study out of my purse, because whatever Bible study I'm working on or whatever, I make sure I have it where I can kind of do it whenever. Like I'll put it in my purse, work on it during a recess, or like I was doing it at the car dealership the other day. It just depends. Whenever I have 5 minutes, I do something. And like at night, like taking off makeup, putting on junk, mask, everything, I just kind of like, I shut myself in the bathroom and do that for myself. Other times, Jeremy's been really good. I think he's seen in the past when I've been like just dead, like it's just gotten to be way too much. He's done stuff like book me a massage or something crazy. But sometimes he sees that I'm like burned out before I'm totally willing to accept that I'm burned out. Next up, what advice would you give those moms trying to balance it all? You can't. You can't balance it all. You have to pick your battles, and you can't feel guilty because you didn't do something. And I know I've only been a mom now for like 19, 20, it's been like 20 months. Oh, what's today? 20, like almost 28. Yeah, it's been 20 months of being a mom. So no, I haven't had like years and years of this, but I will say, even in being like a wife and just existing, you can't beat yourself up for things, for your house not being perfectly tidy. Like, look at the toys. It's kind of like dusty. I think I mopped Monday, but it doesn't always happen. And then the dishes, I don't kill myself with dishes at night. Like if the kitchen's not 1,000% clean when I go to bed, whatever, I'm going to go to bed because I'll be a much nicer person, a much nicer wife and teacher and mom if I had enough sleep, or if I got to have like a little bit of chill time and watch TV. So that's stuff that kind of goes by the wayside. I'll get dinner put up, but if there's dishes, then whatever. You know, the bathrooms don't get cleaned every weekend because pretty much I try to wake up and clean as much as I can before the baby gets up. But you do have to give yourself some leeway and rest a little bit. So I don't want to be up at the crack of dawn doing these things. So if something doesn't get done by the time Harrison's up, then it just doesn't get done. It goes to the next week because there's nothing so dire important in cleaning your house, in, I don't know, to-do list that have to be done right now. They can't wait. Nobody in this house is going to die if I don't do dishes tonight. They just won't. The dishwasher will get run when it gets run. Now, I don't have roaches and rats and like, you know, junk everywhere, but I just don't make myself crazy with it. Our bed hasn't been made in like, I don't even know how long because I get up before Jeremy. I leave for work before Jeremy. By the time he's out of bed, like I'm busy. I don't have time to do it. So during the summer some things get done. During the school year, other things don't. I don't know. Just don't like, I don't know, people like to say that, give yourself grace. I don't like the term. I feel like it's overused now. There's a lot of like biblical terms that I feel like people have like killed by using them so much. But you just have to give yourself room to do things and not stress out. Do your best at your job. Do your best at home. You did your best. You can't be upset about anything else. So I think that's the end of the questions. And what do you know? By some odd miracle, I finished this before the people got home. There's no telling what Daddy and Jeremy, Daddy and Harrison are up to. He might be running an errand that he thinks I'm going to forget to run later. Who knows? So, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Comments, questions, leave them below. Make sure to subscribe. I'll see you guys later. Bye.